I don't know the exact moment it all began, but I do remember, with terrifying clarity, the very first time I heard it. That night, the silence was unnatural. No distant cars, no barking dogs, not even the faint hum of street lamps outside. It was as if the entire world was holding its breath. I was lying in bed, half asleep, when I heard it for the first time. Thump, thump, thump. A heartbeat. But it wasn't mine. It couldn't be mine. It was too strong, too heavy, as if something massive and hidden was pulsing deep beneath the earth. At first, I tried to ignore it. I told myself it was exhaustion, that I was simply hearing the rush of my own blood in my ears. I pulled the pillow over my head, forced my eyes shut, tried to push it away. But it wouldn't stop. Steady, relentless, unnatural. I couldn't resist. I got out of bed, walked barefoot across the room, and pressed my ear against the wooden floor. And there it was, clear as day. A heart was beating beneath my house. I froze, my breath caught in my throat. The sound wasn't just noise, it was vibration. I could feel it through my palms, trembling through the floorboards. I stayed there for what felt like hours, paralyzed, listening. It wasn't the rhythm of a healthy heart. It was irregular, wet, grotesque. The beats were heavy, dragging, like thick blood forcing its way through veins that didn't want to flow. When morning finally came, it stopped, just like that, gone. During the day, everything looked normal again. Sunlight spilled through the windows, traffic passed by, children laughed somewhere outside. For a moment, I almost convinced myself I had imagined it. Almost. Because the next night it came back, the same heartbeat, louder, closer, thump, thump, thump. And this time, it wasn't just sound, it was presence. I don't know how else to explain it, but I could feel it, like the thing beneath the floor was aware of me, like it was waiting. From then on, I couldn't let it go. I became obsessed. I moved furniture, knocked on the boards, searched for cracks, for hollow spots, for anything that might explain it. But everything was solid, perfect, yet the heartbeat remained. Then came the dreams. In them I saw black roots twisting through the soil, wrapped tight around a colossal heart, swollen and pulsing with foul, sluggish blood. And behind it, always behind it, stood a figure. Tall, featureless, motionless. It never came closer. It never moved at all. It just watched. Two faint, glowing eyes floating in the dark. I would wake drenched in sweat, my own chest hammering, only to hear it again. Thump, thump, thump. Each night it grew louder. Each night it pressed deeper into me. And I realized something terrible. I wasn't alone in that house. Something else lived beneath my feet. Something that didn't sleep. Something that was waiting. The nights blurred together after that. I stopped keeping track of time because sleep became impossible. Every time I closed my eyes, the heartbeat dragged me back into those dreams. The roots, the swollen heart, the figure watching. But soon, I didn't need to dream. The nightmares began bleeding into reality. One night, while I lay stiff in bed, I heard something new. A crack, like wood splintering under pressure. The heartbeat followed immediately after, stronger than ever. The floorboards actually trembled. Dust shook loose from the ceiling. And then, the smell came. It was faint at first, just a hint of rot. But within minutes, my room was thick with it. Damp earth, iron, and something unmistakably organic, like meat left out too long in the summer heat. My stomach turned, and I pressed a hand over my mouth to keep from gagging. I knew, without question, that the smell was seeping up from the floor. I should have left. I should have run out of that house and never looked back. But instead, I stayed. I wanted to understand. So I listened. I pressed my palm flat against the boards, and I swear to you, I felt it push back. A twitch, a spasm, like the pulse of a muscle just beneath the skin. That was the first time I heard the whisper. At first, I thought it was the pipes, maybe water rushing somewhere in the walls. But no, this was different. A voice. Low, wet, almost gurgling, like it had to fight through layers of soil and flesh to reach me. It didn't speak words I could understand. It was rhythm, cadence, almost like it was trying to sync itself with my own heartbeat. I ripped my hand away, stumbling backward, but the sound grew louder, inside my head now, vibrating behind my eyes. Thump, thump, thump. The same rhythm, the same call. That night I dreamed again, but this time the figure moved. It didn't walk, didn't step. It simply appeared closer, as if distance meant nothing to it. I could see its outline now. Thin arms, broad shoulders. Its skin, or what I think was skin, seemed to ripple, as if hundreds of veins pulsed beneath the surface. And the eyes, The eyes weren't just glowing anymore. They were staring directly into mine. I woke screaming, clutching my chest, and for the first time, I realized something horrifying. The heartbeat was no longer just under the floor. It was inside me. I pressed my ear to my chest, desperate, panicked. My own heart still beat, but faintly, weak, out of rhythm, as though something else, something stronger, was trying to take control. That night, I didn't dare sleep. I sat in the corner of my room, shaking, whispering to myself, waiting for morning light. But the light never came. When I opened the curtains, there was no sunrise, only black soil stretching endlessly in every direction. The house was gone. The world was gone. And beneath me, the sound of that heart, thump, thump, was all that remained. I don't know how long I sat there. Time no longer made sense in that endless black soil. There was no sky, no horizon, just the heartbeat. Always the heartbeat. The house around me had rotted away, beams curling into ash, plaster melting like wax until only the floor remained. And even that floor began to pulse, the wood darkening, splitting, as if it were nothing more than thin skin stretched over muscle. I couldn't move. My legs were heavy, as though roots had crept up from the earth and coiled around my bones. The smell was unbearable now, thick, wet, like the inside of a body cavity torn open. Then I saw it. The ground beneath me cracked, and through the fissures, a massive organ bulged upward, glistening with blood and soil. It was the heart, the very same one from my dreams, but impossibly large, larger than the house itself. Its veins stretched out like blackened branches, worming into the earth in every direction. Each pulse rattled my teeth and shook the marrow in my bones. And standing just beyond it was the figure, closer than ever. I could finally see its face, or rather, the absence of one. Skin stretched taut where eyes, nose, and mouth should have been, yet somehow those glowing green orbs burned through the flesh as if defying anatomy itself. It raised its hand, long, skeletal fingers trembling like they were reaching not just for me, but into me. And with that motion, my chest exploded in pain. I collapsed, clutching my ribs. My heart wasn't beating anymore. Not really. The rhythm in my chest belonged to it. Each pulse wasn't mine, but borrowed, commanded. I felt the muscle twist inside me, stretching, reshaping. I screamed, but the sound died in my throat. The figure stepped closer. Its feet didn't disturb the soil. It moved like smoke, yet its presence carried weight, crushing, suffocating. It knelt in front of me, lowering its faceless head. That was when I understood. The whispers weren't outside, they were inside, resonating in my skull, threading through my blood. It wasn't speaking to me, it was speaking through me, using me. Not two hearts, the voice gurgled. One, always one, and then silence. The giant heart beneath the soil shuddered violently, veins retracting, the roots tearing away from the ground. They snapped upward, wrapping around my arms, my legs, my throat. I couldn't resist. I didn't want to. Some part of me knew this was what it had been leading me to all along. The figure leaned in close until those burning eyes filled my vision. Then it pressed its hand against my chest. In that instant, I felt my own heart dissolve, melt into nothing but warmth and fluid. And in its place, the other one beat. The ancient one, the true one. When I opened my eyes again, I wasn't in my body anymore. I was beneath the soil, encased in roots, part of the flesh. The figure stood where I had been, stretching my skin, wearing my shape. It looked down at its new hands, flexed them slowly, and then smiled. And the last thing I heard before everything went dark was my own voice, whispering to the next unlucky soul above, the heartbeats below.
Subscribe to Horror Story Bar.